Today we're going to be installing a decoder, a 1930 MRC decoder in this Kato SD40-2 mid-production, painted up in the BNSF. Before we get into it, just a kind of a note on installing a decoder. What you want to do is find yourself someplace to work, well lit. I like to have a little workbench I set aside for this, but also have a piece of foam that's kind of soft and easily absorbs any of the forces that, when you lay the model down. Also good to have a couple good tools, small screwdrivers, tweezers, needle nose pliers, very handy to have with you. Pretty straightforward install. We'll go ahead and dive right into it. First step here is to take the model out of the box, of course. You got your instructions, and here we go. Beautiful model of an SD40 BNSF. Nice paint job. Kato units are very, very well done, in my opinion. And take out the packaging, set the rest aside, and here's your model. The decoder, as I mentioned, is a 1930. It's a drop-in decoder for Kato's SD45s and on up, so this is appropriate for this. We'll look at that in just a moment. To get into the locomotive, you have to remove the shell. The locomotive decoder sits inside of here. So we carefully turn it over, get our screwdriver, and on the Katos, all you have to do is pull out the two coupler retaining screws. By the way, when I do this, what I like to do is make sure that I always take out the parts and set them in the same order as I disassemble it. That makes reassembly a whole lot easier. So I try to lay them out and make it very obvious for me to know how to put it back together. To remove the shell, once you get the screws off, you just gently rock it back and forth and set it aside. So now we can see the Kato DC board. If you compare that to the new DCC replacement soundboard, you'll see that it's very, very similar in size and shape. And the idea there is that it lines up with all the, actually I have that backwards, it lines up very well with all the different light tubes that are actually provided inside of the Kato model. You can see that these LEDs will line up very well with the existing lighting systems that they have inside the unit. The other piece of a sound system is, of course, the speaker. Here's the speaker for this, and Kato's provided a location for that in the fuel tank. So we'll go ahead and do that first, get the speaker installed so that we can get the rest of it installed